morning. The most news in the morning, period. Weekdays 6 Eastern.
Well, John McCain and the Republicans are fighting back against charges that the senator is out of touch on the economy, and they're taking aim at Barack Obama, suggesting that his economic plans would hurt U.S. jobs. So what do the Democrats have to say this morning? Well, I'm joined by Obama supporter, New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson. He joins us live in Santa Fe. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.
Well, this morning we're seeing the government bailout of insurance giant AIG. Both candidates are talking about support for increasing regulation over this industry. What specific changes, in your opinion, would have prevented this?
Well, what Senator Obama is saying is that we have to have a new, strong economic policy in this country. One, end the war, use those funds for domestic needs, energy independence that creates thousands of new jobs, tight regulation on some of these institutions. You know, Senator McCain was chairman of the Commerce Committee, and he's supposed to regulate these industries. And we have to prevent these foreclosures, these mortgage issues, and we also have to give a tax cut to 85% of America's working families. This is what Senator Obama wants to do. But here we have Senator McCain being the deregulator at a time when a lot of these entities needed tighter regulation, tighter oversight to prevent predatory lending, to prevent so many mortgage deficiencies in our economy, and also to take a look at these giants that are today falling apart. I don't see how Senator McCain, who keeps saying that the fundamentals of our economy are still strong, when you've got high unemployment, job losses, foreclosures, an economy probably in worse shapes than the Great Depression, try to take a pass on that.
Now, in fairness, he did say he was speaking about the American worker when he said fundamentals. That's what he told us yesterday on our show. But I do want to ask you about one thing we've heard from both sides, and this is the issue of transparency. There are financial analysts and even our own guys here in the business team say, you know, Lehman Brothers, for example, their own company didn't know where these rebundled mortgages were being stuffed in portfolios. Is it really realistic to expect the federal government to be able to look inside the books of each and every one of these investment banks, mortgage companies, and really get to the heart of what the problem is?
Well, yes, you have to have tighter regulation. You have to have tighter oversight. And this is where the committees of Congress are supposed to do. They're supposed to make sure that these abuses don't take place. And it's obvious when it came to so many of these mortgages, it was total deregulation that has caused a lack of oversight, and you've got millions of Americans losing their homes. This doesn't mean you're in the offices of the Lehman Brothers, but it does mean that the Commerce hold oversight hearings, have legislation that deals with some of these huge oversights. So the answer is yes, we do need more transparency, but for that to happen, you need more regulation and you need more oversight, and that is the job of Congress. And Senator McCain has been chairman of the Commerce Committee, and we're saying, where has he been these last 26 years?
You know, we just talked to Chris Dodd about it as well, and he's the chairman of the Banking Committee, and he said he held 55 hearings, that he felt it was a Johnny One note, as he put it, about the subprime crisis. How much can you really do in the walls of Congress? Barack Obama, a senator as well.
Well, you can do a lot, Karen. This is what the Congress is supposed to do. And for years under the Republicans, and when Senator McCain was chairman of the Commerce Committee, he prided himself on saying, I am a deregulator. I am going to take government off your backs. Well, look what's happened. We have not had the proper oversight of these agencies. We have not enforced a lot of the legislation that had been passed, the Sarbanes-Oxley legislation on a lot of these investment entities. And so you say the job of government is to make sure you don't have these abuses and these oversights.
I want to ask you about executive experience. Of course, you're governor of New Mexico. You've had to deal with balancing budgets. You've had to deal with issues like this. Of course, in the White House, it's on a much larger scale. But both sides of either ticket are saying that the other one lacks experience. Are you fully confident that Barack Obama would be able to handle these types of economic questions with the experience of being a state senator and a senator?
Absolutely. Look at what he's proposing that we do about the economy. I mentioned energy independence. I mentioned a tax cut for working families. I mentioned more oversight on Wall Street, cracking down on lobbyists. You know, he has concrete policies. What Obama has is judgment. What Obama has is values. What Obama has is the ability to bring Republicans and Democrats together as he has in the Senate. This is what you need. You need bipartisanship. And then on the national security side, is there anybody more experienced in America than Joe Biden, who's chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, all his life, over 30 years, dealing with national security and foreign policy, dealing with issues like energy independence, nuclear proliferation, terrorism. I mean, you can't compare the two tickets in terms of valuable experience to assume the presidency and the vice presidency.